Have you ever gone out with someone who isn't broke, isn't cheap, but is intensely careful with money? They skip the $4 add-on, ask for tap water instead of a drink, pull out a calculator to split the bill, so precisely it kills the mood, and you're sitting there thinking, how does someone this stressed about money earn this much of it? Welcome to Axon Psycho, where we break down human behavior, one uncomfortable truth at a time. It looks like a money issue. Psychologically, it almost never is. What you're actually watching is a nervous system reacting to threat, not a bank balance. Psychologists talk about something called money scripts, unconscious beliefs about money that form early in life, before we even understand what money means. These beliefs don't live in logic, they live in your body. For some people, spending triggers the same internal alarm as danger, not because the purchase will hurt them, but because their brain learned, at some point, that money disappearing equals risk. That lesson usually comes from two places. Either they grew up watching adults panic over money stress, arguments, instability, or they experienced a financial hit themselves, debt, collapse, loss. So the brain adapts. It installs a quiet rule. Never let this happen again. The problem is, that rule doesn't turn off when life improves. You can be financially secure and still feel unsafe every time you spend. That's how you end up reusing things past their lifespan, driving miles out of your way to save a few cents, obsessing over small expenses that don't actually matter. The math doesn't add up, but the anxiety does. There's also another type of extreme saver, and their behavior comes from somewhere else: control. When life feels unstable, work, relationships, housing, the future, people cling to whatever they can control, and money becomes an easy target. You may not control your job or your partner, but you can control whether you buy generic or name brand. That sense of control matters more than the money saved, which explains why some people are strangely inconsistent. They'll refuse to pay for parking, then spend thousands on something they love. They'll stress over groceries but lease a luxury car. It's not hypocrisy, it's emotional regulation. Restriction gives them control. Spending gives them relief. Research shows the healthiest relationship with money sits in the middle: mindful, flexible, intentional. But most people overshoot that balance. And here's the twist: extreme saving and extreme spending are often the same coping strategy. Both are attempts to manage anxiety through money. One tries to buy comfort, the other tries to build safety. Both come with consequences. Over-restriction has social costs. People stop inviting you out. Relationships feel tense. Money becomes a source of conflict instead of support. In couples, this creates a familiar pattern. One person feels spending is dangerous. The other feels restriction is controlling. Neither is wrong, they're just running different internal scripts. That's the irony. Extreme saving is driven by a desire for security, but it often creates a permanent sense of scarcity. Your bank account says you're safe. Your nervous system disagrees. So in the end, it was never really about money. It was about control, safety, anxiety, and habits that once made sense, but might not anymore. If this made you uncomfortable, well, good. That means something clicked. This is Axon Psycho. More psychological deep dives coming soon.